Mmm.
Hey y'all, it's Kayla Ebby with the Educator Chipotle Challenge, doing an Educator Shout Out Interview with one of my former students. Who are you?
I'm Patton Miller. I'm an incoming 11th grader, and I go to school in Davis, California at Da Vinci High School.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Patton, for being here. And you are one of the first student followers of the ECC. How did you stumble upon the ECC?
Well, I saw it on Instagram first, obviously, and I just followed it. And I think this was before the challenge even started. And this is the first week or so.
Okay.
And I saw that you were doing. I'm like, wow, I've never seen anyone try to do something like that before. And I got really interested in just the process of eating Chipotle every single day for a year. And it was for a good cause too. So that was pretty cool to me.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much for sticking with me it's July 31st and it is day 337. So do the math. You got 28 days left?
Yeah, something like that. It's crazy.
Like that. I think so, yeah. So from start to finish, you are gonna see the progression. So Patton, name and describe one or more educators who have positively impacted your life and how they've made a difference for you.
The number one obviously would be Mr. Bell at Da Vinci High School. He was my 10th grade World Civ teacher, and he's he's my favorite teacher that I've ever had throughout schooling. And just the vibe he gives off with the students and how he connects with the students and makes sure that you're engaged with the material that you're learning and that you're actually getting it, and how he takes time to focus on you and make sure that you understand it before a test, or just he just wants to make sure you're doing well in the class. And then he also really cares for you as a person too. I could go in there when I have during lunch or during when I have a break in class or whatever, and I can go in there and talk to him, and we'll just talk about anything, and we have the same interest in movies and TV shows and stuff like that. So it's really cool to connect with a teacher like that, and I see him more as his friend than I do as a teacher.
That's awesome. Shout out to Mr. Bell.
Yeah.
It made a difference for Patton. Patton, from your perspective as a student, what resources are necessary to have at school that support students' mental, social, emotional health, and well-being?
I feel it's necessary to have just people there and adults that really care for the students and are there to listen to their problems or just listen to things going on in their life, so that the students feel connected to the people that they're talking to, and make sure that they just feel safe in life and not lonely or anything like that, and they always have a person to come to when it comes to that.
So you spoke about just adults and teachers, and so just anybody on campus?
You just need support around you, because I feel that's one of the biggest things in high school. You just have to have support to get through it, because it could be a tough time for some people, and especially for me. I get some of these moods and I just want to talk to someone about it, and you got to make sure that the person that you're talking to is you trust and they support you through whatever's going on. So I feel that's very important.
Yeah, and it sounds like you have multiple outlets, football, teammates at school, friends that you've been friends with since you were in junior high and even beyond.
Yeah.
Teachers, anybody else that you would recommend people reach out to?
Oh, well, your parents are a good one. If you have a good relationship with your parents, you can always come to them, because they're the main people that will always love you no matter what, hopefully. And just like that. And yeah, for me, it's Mr. Bell, I was saying earlier, is always there for me. He always wants to make sure you're doing the best. And the teachers most teachers are always like that too, because they're teaching because they want to make sure that the children are going to succeed in life and do better. So they obviously want the best for you. So I think it's a really good thing to have there.
Yeah, absolutely. Patton, what advice would you share with your younger self?
I would tell my younger self just to stick in there, and that no matter what, it's just high school, it's going to be okay, and that you have tons of people around you that are going to support you through your decisions and no matter what happens. And don't be afraid to talk about what's going on in your life, because talking about it is one of the bigger things to help you overcome what's going on and really help you get through it.
That's that's great advice. Have you believed that and practiced that, talking it out for several years, or is that something that you've been working on? Or
it's definitely something that I've been working on. And at first, like, I was like starting to feel some ways, and it's just like I didn't really know how to talk about it or describe it with some people, and like I would just keep all my problems to myself because I didn't want to like throw it on to other people. That's how I thought it would be like. But then I realized that those people actually do care about me, and they wanted the best for me, and they just wanted to help me. So like, I would obviously like take their help and take their support, and it made the process be a lot better and get through it easier.
And now, since you've talked through it, you're at a place where like that's behind you.
Yeah,
you know,
I'm at like probably the best place I've been with my life, with like football and like what's going on in school, and just all my friends and family that's supporting me. It just feels really nice.
That's so good to hear, hon. So good to hear. Patton, before we sign off, is there anything else that you would like to share with educators or students or other people watching?
Well, yeah, I'll start with educators. Just try to connect with your students, like more and like find stuff that they like, and you can talk about that. And once you open up a gate and same interest as them, they'll start coming to you more with like stuff going on with their life, and just you can really help them get through that stuff. But I think it starts with like learning their interests and becoming friends with them through that, so they feel safe and comfortable talking to you. And then for students, I'd say don't be afraid to talk to someone, like as a teacher or a counselor or anything like that, because they obviously want the best intentions for you and what's going on in your life.
I'd say that's a touchdown, folks. This interview, like, Patton, you nailed it.
Thank you.
All the advice that you shared, like sharing personal experiences, I appreciate it. And who did you shout out to?
Mr. Bell.
Well done, Mr. Bell. You are making a difference in Patton's life, and I know many, many others at the high school. All right, it's been Kayla Ebby and
Patton Miller.
Patton Miller. Keep it real.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Another successful Educator Shout Out interview. Have I or have I not mentioned that this school counselor is so proud of her students? It's so good. It's so good to connect with them while they're my students, and to connect with them when they're no longer my current students. So much love for y'all. Patton, you did great.